Many people believe that the Enneagram is a personality typing system, but in my opinion, this is actually a map to you. The Enneagram, the 9 different characters in the Enneagram represent your body, represent your awareness and your nervous system. And it's actually basically a map to a holistic, integrated self. And when you basically type yourself and you get the most dominant part, it's actually the representation or the explanation what is the most dominant in you out of those 9. But all those 9 are in you, and this video series focuses on this. These are just my insights, so you can see these videos as some sort of a brainstorming, and you should make up your own decision. You should make up your own mind about it. What does this mean to you? This is the 3rd part of this series, and in this one I'm going to focus on the energies. And just quickly I'm going to recap that the Enneagram is a 9 because it has 3 parts in the nervous system. I mean, on the nervous system, the energetic self, and it's going to be the Kundalini line in the middle of the body. There is a vagus nerve at the back of the body, and there is a vagus nerve at the front of the body. So you get 3. And you also have 3 types of awareness levels. You have the reptile level, that is the most ancient. You have the mammalian level, that is newer, and you have the newest one, that is the primate level. And this is how you have 3 and 3, and it gives you 9 dots. And this is actually what gives the basis of the Enneagram, in my opinion. And in this one, I'm going to explain the energies, because the energies will show you the dynamics in this. So we have to understand something that is coming from quantum physics, and it's a very, very interesting, I would say, debate. That just imagine that a tree falls and it gives out a very, very loud sound. If nobody can hear it, nobody can see it, nobody can observe it, did it really give out a sound? So what this tries to tell you is that you have to have something to be observed, and you have to have the observer, and this is what gives reality. And this is what we can see in the vertical and horizontal type of reality, that we have an energy. These are represented in experiences. This is the self, but something has to absorb it, and this is basically what you see, how these 2 different types of word meet. So basically you have the energies and you have the awareness level, and this is basically what gives you the fragmented holistic self. This is something that we have to understand, that you will always see, or you will always experience, what is the closest to you. So you cannot see, I would say, really evolved or really holistic people if you are way too fragmented. And the reason for that is the frequencies, because reality is energetic lines. These are frequencies, and you can imagine that if you are, I'll just say something, for example, 20 hertz, and there is something that is 120 hertz and operates on this level, you won't be able to experience it because it's too far away from you. Even Albert Einstein said that you will experience only the type of reality that matches your frequency. So this is basically physics, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. Meaning that maybe there are things around you, but if it's not in you, if you don't have the awareness, it won't exist for you. You won't be able to observe it. It's like switching the channels on the television. This is exactly how you can imagine our reality. So the most basic meeting point, I would say, is going to be where the delta brainwaves are. So you have an energetic line, and that is the delta line, that is the Kundalini line in the middle of the body. In my opinion, it's in the 2nd dimension, because we cannot see it when we open up a person. So it doesn't have a 3D physical version, but it can be very, very clearly felt, and you can also feel it, that there are 3 different balls in it. what they feel like boys, but these are actually basically your centers. And in my opinion, centers are nothing more than breaking points where you couldn't choose both options. You had to make a decision, you had to pick one. And this is what we are doing, that now we have the awareness, now we have the energy as well to go back, and what we couldn't choose, now we are able to choose. So basically we do a huge route in order to go back to the same central point where we were broken apart, and now we have the ability to integrate, meaning we can choose both. And this is what is the basically step and dynamics in creating a healed wholeness, because this is something I keep talking about, that we are all whole already, but the problem is that we are in an unhealed stage, and this is where we are all the same. The only difference is in between us where the brokenness is and what we do. That's the problem, that we see in each other the differences only, and we try to stay away from people who are very different from us. But in reality, we could really use their help to see those parts in us that are hidden. This is basically your shadow. So the Kundalini line is the very first step basically, and it's connected to the reptile level. The reptile level is the most primitive one, and it really focuses on survival and nothing more. So this is what we have to truly understand, that although we have all these three parts in the energetic self and in the awareness self as well, as we are growing up, we keep experiencing it as a fragmented one. So basically, when you are a newborn baby and when you are in a mother's womb, you only experience this reptile type of awareness and only the data brainwaves, and you are operating in it for a certain period of time. And this is going to give you the basis of your holistic self that you are as of now. And what you have to know about it is that if the basis is too fragmented, the upper parts are going to be exactly the same as well, or very similar. And what I mean by that is that if you had very harsh circumstances, your parents didn't care about you when you were a little baby, and you were basically forced to do certain things to survive, then this is going to be the most dominant in you. That this is going to create your reality, that the external world cannot be trusted. And this type of people will learn to be psychopaths. They want to control their external world, and this is the very wound that they keep reliving even when they are adults, because they got stuck, their energy got stuck in this level, and they didn't have the courage to move forward to the two upper parts. And we can see it on brain scans as well, when they do brain scans on little children, that these are the brain waves that are active in them, data. And we can imagine it from the very beginning, when you are basically made and you are in the mother's womb. Your only experience, your only external world is the mother and the energies of the mother. And we are all a replica of that we are all start as females. And the females or the baby girls remain there. So they basically agree to be like the mother on the very core. And the boys don't know where to go because there are no choices. The only choice they make is that they don't want this. And this is the very first breaking point in that part. And this creates the basis of the hormones. And anybody can say anything. I'm really sorry, that you can be whoever you want to be. Your core biology will have a massive impact on you, no matter what people say, because the nervous system has such a huge impact on you, how you feel, how you react. You can be very anxious and feeling afraid of anything, or you can be the same thing, that you are very anxious, but that's not what you feel. What you feel is that you are angry all the time, And when we take the most aggressive male and the most aggressive female, we are going to see a very, very huge difference. We can also see that more males are going to be in prisons. So this is something that we have to truly understand, that this very, very basic point is going to have a huge impact on whatever is on the top. And this is basically in the Enneagram 8, the Enneagram 9, and in the center 1. And one is right and wrong, but in my opinion, it means that you will be too dominant in one. Are you going to be the one who wants to control the world and lashes out, or are you a type of person who just basically runs away, who just doesn't react to things? And this is something that we have to understand, that we are actually already all of these, but the way we express it is going to be very, very different. So basically, a 9, we say that this is a type of person who is very, very peaceful, and we see it as the complete opposite of an 8, who wants to control the environment and doesn't want to be controlled. But in reality, in my opinion, 8 is represented in 9 as well, just as 9 is represented in 8. But the way they express it is going to be very, very different. So this is our illusion that we have already. And in my opinion, this is one of the main reasons as well, this split, that the girls remain girls and the boys actually reject the female part. But in reality, they already have that. So they have both on this level. And in my opinion, that's why they are more sexual, because they have both in them. And I believe that they can feel that, and it actually does something on that level that we are not aware of. And awareness means, because everybody says aware that you know something, it also means that you can compare. So you have an awareness, a true awareness, when you can feel both. So you only feel one at one stage and you only feel the other one at another stage. And that's when you can compare. And this is what gives true awareness, that you can live in both bodies basically, and then you can compare. You can see the similarities and you can see the differences. And in my opinion, this level also represents basically that part of the parent that you have. So because you only have this part active, you will be very, very aware of this part of your parents, but in a way that, because you are in a mother's womb, you will be aware and you will be basically influenced by the energies within the mother. This is what you are going to experience. And this is, I would say, a very early illusion, that you will feel that this external world is overwhelming or maybe peaceful. It doesn't really matter what, but you will make a decision with a very, very primitive mind. But you don't see, and I think that's what we have to understand, that here this level represents that we feel only want something towards something, because we don't have the awareness of what's external to this external world, because we can only feel that one single thing that the mother feels, but we don't have the awareness that there is a father. Maybe the father is an alcoholic, maybe the father is harmful, maybe the father is actually not even there, or maybe this is a surrogate mother and doesn't give a crap about what's happening, or maybe overly gives things. And then there is also an even more external world, the family, how the family responds to this. And also, did even the mother wanted to get pregnant, or maybe it happened by accident? Is she happy? Does it make her feel upset? Is she scared? And then there is even a more external world, and it is the country. So we can see that there are so many things that actually influence this one single external world that we feel as one. And basically this is what we are doing, to find out and peel back that one feeling. Many times we feel how many little other things influence that one feeling, because this is the only way to understand it. And when you understand it, that's when you can overcome it. And because this is the lowest level, this is going to be the last one when we go back, and this is going to be the most difficult. And in my opinion, it actually represents all these other versions we have that we are not aware of in other realities. So in my opinion, these data brainwaves are a gateway to your other versions. And I'm saying it from experience because I have access to some of them. I have access to energies that are on a deeper level, meaning stronger. And now we go to the mammalian level. So the mammalian level is going to be the second one. This is basically the attachments. And this is where we are in this 3D reality, basically. And we have Enneagram 2 at the back of the body, and that is going to be connected to the body because the energy goes from the body to the head and from the head to the body. And we have also an Enneagram 3 that's on the front of the body. And as you can see, there is a huge difference. They are exactly on the same level, the mammalian, but they are very, very different. Because here the emotions are first and mind is second, and here mind is first, head is first, and emotions are second. And it's actually the representation how these two are created. So when we talk about personality disorders, 2 is going to be borderline personality disorder and also bipolar, where the emotions are unregulated. And this is our chart self. This is the very, very first step from this, that we feel attached to someone. These are going to be our theta brainwaves that we are only aware of when we do past life regression or when we have a dream, when we are dreaming. And this is what is the most dominant in people who are very, very emotional. These are the codependents, these are the empaths, these are the twin flame chasers, and everything is on a spectrum and everybody can hear. And then we have the opposite of that, and it is going to be 3 on the front, where as we can see it's coming from the head. So basically it's created by the external world very, very directly. So it can have 2 versions. This is the narcissists, basically, who really depend on the external world, how the external world makes them feel and how they look in the eyes of the external world. And the emotional stage will be very, very different. That these craves love, that they are loved, so these are close connections. And these ones actually want exactly the same, but their feeling is different. They want people to admire them. They want people to be envious about them. So as you can see, it's basically the same. It's just who they want to feel this from. So this is only one person or very, very close connections. And this is as many as possible because the head represents more than this level. And here we can have the covert and we can have the grandiose narcissist. And the difference in between the two is going to be the grandiose will have parents who encourage them, who spoil them. Everything they do is perfect. They are the perfect child. And the covert narcissist is going to be a type of person who is always put down. So basically, the deep energy is going to be exactly the same, but in a very, very different way. So both of them crave admiration, but one of them craves it, the grandiose, because this is what they got used to, that anything they do is perfect. They cannot do wrong. So this is what they got used to. It's a rule for them. And for the covert narcissist, it's going to be connected more to a 6. It's going to be that this is their internal battle. So for them, it's going to be more emotional, that they always have to prove that they are not that basically shitty person that their parents told them that they are, or maybe the friends, or maybe in the school. This is what the differences and the similarities are. And there is a similarity in both of them, that they will be afraid of getting hurt. And both of them are more head type in a sense, because this is how the energy comes. So they are going to be more sophisticated compared to a 2 type of person who seems very, very naive, and these ones are more suspicious. And also you can see the difference, that a 2 type of a person will allow to be used as a doormat easier or longer than these type of people who will be suspicious, and they will say, okay, this is my worth, and I don't allow you to give less what I worth. So you can see the difference in between these two, that 2 is going to be more of a tried self, and 6 and 3 are going to be more like the adored self. And 3 is going to be alpha brainwaves. This is what we feel. This is how the energy comes again, that it goes up to the head. The head is going to determine what that energy is based on the decisions you have been making throughout your life. So cognitive behavioral therapy can help you, your feelings, because as soon as your brain determines what that energy is, it's going to send down a signal, and this is what you feel. So basically alpha is your conscious part of your subconscious. So what I'm saying is there are 2 parts of the subconscious. So delta was your unconscious, then you have theta and alpha. These are your subconscious, but 2 parts. There is a deeper part and there is an upper part, and the upper part is what you are aware of, and you have a top part, and these are your beta brainwaves. This is your cognition, and this is where we can see that this type of energy can do so many. So it is also the one that can help us for the very first time to start integrating, because it has the ability, and it's in 6 by the way, that makes decisions based on having different ideas all at once. So it can be very, very complex. It can analyze, but it can also start the healing process by allowing more options, by allowing more perceptions. But this is where the problem is, that the very thing it can do, so the very strength, it's also its own weakness, because 6 is suspicious. 6 is made by the external world, and the external world teaches the 6 that you have to be exactly who I am. So a 6 is going to be the exact replica of society, and they can be extremely dangerous. So this is where we can see the exact oppositeness with 8. 8 wants to control the external world, wants to dominate the external world, and doesn't want to be controlled. So this is a tyrant. But 6 is going to be someone who wants to control the internal world. They don't want to feel. They want to be exactly the way it's expected from them, what the rules tell them. And that's exactly why these 2 attract, because these 2 are opposites. And the problem is that they are not only attracted in the emotional level, but also on a social level. That's how we can see that there is a very, very awful person like Hitler, and you have all of these other people who follow him and do exactly what he says, because they don't have this internal world. They don't have this internal moral code that I can go against what most people do. And this is what is the most dangerous, and this is what we can see currently in this protest as well, that as you can see, they absolutely do not care about anyone. They do not care about the country they live in. They destroy things, because in their mind what they are doing is the right thing to do, but they have zero empathy for anyone who is not with them. So this type of mentality is extremely dangerous, because they can support even the worst person, because they go for rules, and rules don't have empathy. And empathy has this type of thinking that 2 things can be equal, and you should give love for more and more things. And this is exactly what can be missing from 6. And the reason why they can be so dangerous is because they learn to follow rules. And the rules basically don't have a gray area. Everything is either black or white. And these are basically people who grew up in ideologies. And the perfect example would be religion. I always bring up religion because this is the best example for this, where there is lots of rules that you must follow. And it also divides people into different groups. And they make you believe in a certain way that whoever is in your group are your mates, are your brothers and sisters, but anyone else who doesn't believe exactly in what you believe in must be destroyed. And of course, again, it's on a spectrum. This is basically the first step in analysis, that this is what is good, again, right and wrong. This is what we can see that comes up from this lowest level, right and wrong, to the head. That there is one version of reality that is accepted and anything else must be destroyed. But in reality, this is actually your block. That you see only one version of reality, you only see one version of reality you accept, and you will basically see the opposite of that, because this is how reality tries to show you, this is how reality tries to push you to accept all of those parts that you repressed. But you will only see what is the closest to you. So lots of things will not be in your reality because it will be too challenging. It would make no sense. And reality works in a way that is very energy efficient. And the opposite of 6 in the head is going to be 7. And 7 is going to be a more open-minded, more childlike, because it's at the back of the body. So as you can see, this is the closest to this giant self. And it's also the most connected to the body. So after the body, this is the first part. That's why it's really connected to these personal experiences. It loves to travel, it loves drinking, it loves trying new things, it loves flavors, it loves touch, because this is also the closest to body-based enjoyment. So this is going to be a more hedonistic type of person. And we can see that 6 is exactly the same, but their enjoyment comes from the opposite, that they can repress this part. That there was a sin that was came into me, but I was strong enough to repress it. I was able to push away all of these internal things that are coming up. This is the illusion that they have. They have the feeling of being superior and being really good, because they are not like the rest of the world. So they kind of have this feeling, I'm not saying all of them, but at an extreme, that they are this perfect representation of their society they are living. And these are generally these people who keep saying, I'm the nice guy or I'm the nice girl. So they want to be nice. And then we have 3 that is a second to it, because it comes like this. This is the feeling, where the feeling is going to be more dominant, that they want to be actually admired in a sense, that they are very successful. So this one experiences success in a sense that I am like everyone else. I can blend in. I am this regular guy. I am this regular girl. I am this typical perfect wife or perfect husband who is calm, compared to this who has exactly the same thoughts, but in a different way, that I am more than, so visibly more than everyone else. I am better looking, I dress in a very interesting way, or I wear the most expensive clothes, or I am very successful. So as you can see, these are very similar in a sense, and yet different. And this is where we can see as well that 8 will have a bit of an 8ish vibe, because they are all based on anger. So 9 and 2 and 6 are based on anxiety. This is going to be a minus type of vibe, that I give up myself, so I am the good one, I'm the one who sacrifices, and they feel that they don't have an ego and they don't have boundaries, and they are the victim. And 8 and 3 and 7 are going to be similar to each other in a sense, that they are the ones who are more dominating. These are going to be the ones who will be more visible for others. But this is what you have to understand, that you all have all these, but you express them in a very different way. Basically, no one is really better than others. You all have all 9. But the way you express those parts that are not seen by you, it's going to be very different. So for example, a 2 is going to be basically the opposite of an 8. But it will express 8 when they are controlling the environment, in a sense that they do everything for the partner, they see it as they are very, very unselfish, they are very, very sacrificing, and they are the victim because the partner does nothing. But they don't see the control, that the reason they do everything and they try to be this very, very perfect person who does everything, that they wouldn't leave them. And they also want to feel that they are good, that they do everything, and they want to feel that nobody does anything for them, so they feel neglected. And this is exactly this childhood wound that they keep reliving, because during their childhood, a two type of person is going to be the neglected one, that they have to basically deal with their own emotions. That's why it's not regulated, nobody have them. And compared to them, a six will feel that they have it all together because they know how to regulate. But in reality, they don't regulate it, they repress it. And they have these authoritarian parents. And this is what a two is going to keep reliving, that they recreate this very feeling they felt, because this is how they feel it's right. This is how they feel it happened. And this is where we see the lower level, the reptile level, the survival level, that it doesn't know anything. It's a stupid one. But the only thing it knows that whatever you have done already, it's working because you are still alive. So this is going to make you want to do the very thing that you have already done. This is the one that wants to make you feel exactly the same way because it doesn't know anything else. So what you have to do is to overcome this and stop living in this loop, that you realize that, oh, I have an upper level and that's the head. That you start learning and you start forcing yourself to create a different type of reality. So this lowest level, the unconscious level, will have more experiences and will say, okay, so this kept you alive, but now you have a different experience. This also kept you alive. So this is basically what we are doing. Every level has strengths, has advantages and disadvantages, that we recognize which one does what. And we use the part that can overcorrect another part and make them whole, make them work together. So this was about energies, and in my next video, I really want to focus on how actually all nine are represented in all of them and how differently it can manifest. So basically, you will start seeing all of those parts in you as well that you believe they are the most further away from you. So basically, these videos are going to be very, very challenging, but my main goal is to open up your mind. It's not about believing in what I say. Let's just start thinking and make up your own mind. Start opening up to the possibility that at the very core, maybe we are all the same. I hope this video was helpful for you, and see you in my next video.